Welcome, curious mind, to Hidden Pages. Today, we're starting a truly amazing journey. We're going to explore the life of Bill Gates, a man whose work touches almost everyone on Earth. He didn't just build computers, he built the programs that make them work, and then he started using his amazing wealth to help solve the biggest problems our world faces. His story is full of big ideas, hard work, and a deep desire to make things better. This very, very long story about Bill Gates is designed just for you. It's super simple, perfect if you're just starting to learn English, a 1 level. We'll go through every part of his life, step by step, with many, many clear examples and lots of helpful details. We'll discover how a smart boy became a computer wizard, how he built a giant company, and how he then changed his path to become one of the world's greatest helpers. His life is a fantastic example of what one person can achieve with vision and dedication. Chapter 1. A Boy Who Loved Computers. The Early Life of Bill Gates and a Smart Friend. Our very, very long story about Bill Gates begins many years ago, in the middle of the 1900s. He was born in the year 1955 in a big city called Seattle, in America. His full name is William Henry Gates III. His family was a good family. His father was a lawyer, and his mother was a teacher and helped in their community. Bill was a very, very smart boy even when he was very young. He loved to read books, so many books, about many different topics. Reading was a very big and important part of his life because it helped him learn new things every day. When Bill Gates was just a boy, around 13 years old, something very new and exciting entered his world: computers. Imagine this. Back in the 1960s and early 1970s, computers were nothing like they are today. They were enormous machines, very, very big, filling whole rooms. Only universities or very large companies had them. They were also very hard to use, and most people didn't even know what a computer was or how it worked. But Bill Gates, along with some of his clever friends at school, found a way to use one of these huge computers. They had to go to a special building, and they used a special machine to write code. Code is like a secret language, a set of instructions that you write to tell the computer exactly what to do. Bill Gates loved writing code immediately. He found it incredibly interesting, almost like solving a giant puzzle with words and numbers. He spent many, many hours, sometimes even staying up all night, just writing code, trying to understand how the computer thought and trying to make it do new and exciting things. He felt this was more interesting than anything else he did. At school, Bill Gates met a very, very important friend. His name was Paul Allen. Paul Allen was a little older than Bill. Paul was also very, very smart and loved computers, just like Bill. Paul was especially good at finding new ideas for how computers could be used in the future. Bill, on the other hand, was incredibly good at writing the exact code needed to make those ideas become real. They were a truly strong team together. They talked about computers constantly. They dreamed about them. They spent countless hours, week after week, learning everything they possibly could about these new and powerful machines. They even got into a little bit of trouble sometimes because they used the school's big computer for too many hours. But their teachers and families quickly saw that they were very talented and deeply passionate about computers. This early passion, this very strong love for computers and writing code, was the absolute beginning of a huge and amazing journey. It was the small seed that would grow into one of the most famous and impactful companies in the entire world. They felt like they were standing at the start of something truly magical, something that had the power to change everything for everyone. Chapter 2: A Computer for Every Desk, Starting Microsoft and a Big Idea. After many years of learning, dreaming, and working with computers, Bill Gates and Paul Allen developed a very big and bold idea. They clearly saw that computers were still big and hard to use. However, they strongly believed that very soon computers would become much smaller and much cheaper. This belief led them to a grand vision, a huge dream for the future. They firmly believed that a computer would be on every desk and in every home. This was an incredibly brave idea because at that moment in time, most people didn't even own a computer. It was a very big dream, almost as revolutionary as saying, a car will be in every home, when cars were still very new and rare. So, with this powerful vision in mind, in the year 1975, Bill Gates and Paul Allen made a big decision. They decided to start a new company. They called their new company Microsoft. The name Microsoft was clever. It came from microcomputer software. Let's understand software. Software is the special programs and instructions, like the rules, that tell a computer what to do. The physical parts of the computer, like the screen and keyboard, are called hardware. Bill Gates and Paul Allen wanted to write software. They wanted to make the brains, the instructions, for these new, small computers. Their very first big project was to write a special kind of software called a basic interpreter for a very early personal computer known as the Altair. This basic interpreter allowed people to write simple programs easily on the Altair. This was a very important step, because it immediately made computers a little bit easier for more people to use. This first success was a big boost for their small, new company. Then, in the year 1980, something truly monumental happened that changed everything for Microsoft forever. A very large and famous company named IBM, International Business Machines, came to Bill Gates. IBM was making a new personal computer, and they desperately needed software to make it work. They specifically needed an operating system. An operating system is like the main boss program that makes all other programs work on a computer. It makes the computer start up, run other software, and manage all the files. It's the most important, fundamental software for any computer to function. IBM asked Bill Gates if Microsoft could provide this operating system for their new computer. Bill Gates and Paul Allen worked incredibly hard and very fast. They found an existing operating system, quickly bought it, and then changed it and made it much better to fit IBM's exact needs. They called it MS-DOS, Microsoft Disk Operating System. This was an absolutely huge deal for Microsoft. IBM's new personal computer became incredibly popular all over the world, and because it used MS-DOS, Microsoft's software was suddenly on millions of computers everywhere. This deal with IBM was extremely smart for Bill Gates. He did not sell MS-DOS to IBM completely and forever. Instead, he licensed it. This means he gave IBM permission to use it on their computers, but Microsoft still legally owned MS-DOS. And crucially, Microsoft could also sell MS-DOS to other computer companies that wanted to make their own personal computers. This was an incredibly clever business decision. This meant that MS-DOS quickly became the standard operating system for almost all personal computers, and Microsoft grew very, very fast. Bill Gates's powerful vision of a computer on every desk was slowly but surely starting to come true for millions of people. Chapter 3. Windows for the World. Microsoft grows very, very big and becomes a leader. With MS-DOS running on so many computers, Microsoft had already become a very big and important software company. But Bill Gates had an even bigger and bolder idea to make computers even easier for everyone to use. MS-DOS used only text commands, meaning you had to type specific words, like secret codes, to tell the computer what to do. This was still hard and not very friendly for many, many people who weren't computer experts. So, in the year 1985, Microsoft introduced something new and truly revolutionary: Microsoft Windows. Windows was different because it used pictures and icons that you could click on with a special device called a mouse. You could see many different programs working at the same time in separate windows on the screen. It was much, much easier, more intuitive, and much more friendly to use than just typing text commands. Imagine seeing clear pictures of tools you can click on, instead of having to remember and type the name of every tool. That's how Windows changed computers. Windows changed everything in the computer world. More and more people started buying personal computers because they were now much easier and more enjoyable to use. And almost all of these new computers used Microsoft Windows. Microsoft continued to make many different versions of Windows over the years, each one better, faster, and more powerful than the last. Names like Windows 3.1, Windows 95, Windows XP, and later Windows 10 became very famous names known by millions of people globally. Microsoft also made other very famous and incredibly useful software programs that people needed every day. Microsoft Word. This program was for writing documents, like letters, school papers, or reports. It made writing on computers simple and professional. Microsoft Excel. This program was for working with numbers, making tables, and doing calculations. It became essential for businesses and for many people at home. Microsoft PowerPoint. This program was for making presentations with slides, pictures, and text. It helped people share their ideas clearly and beautifully. Microsoft Office. This was a big collection of all these important programs, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and others, bundled together. These programs became the essential, standard tools for offices, schools, and homes all over the world. People used them for almost everything they did on a computer. Because so many people used Microsoft Windows and Microsoft Office, Microsoft became an incredibly successful, powerful, and very, very rich company. It truly became the biggest software company in the world. Bill Gates, as the main leader of Microsoft, became a very, very famous and influential person globally. He was seen as a very smart, very tough, and very focused businessman. He became one of the richest people in the world. He was incredibly passionate about his work, and he worked very, very hard for many, many hours every single day, always thinking about the next big thing. He was known for being intensely focused, very demanding of himself and his team, and for always thinking years ahead about the future of technology. He strongly believed that technology could solve many problems, and he wanted Microsoft to be at the very front, pushing the boundaries of what computers could do. His bold vision of a computer on every desk and in every home, became a reality for billions of people around the globe. He truly changed how the world worked. Chapter 4. Helping the Whole World. A new chapter. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and Giving Back. After many, many years of leading Microsoft and making it so incredibly successful and famous, Bill Gates started to think about new challenges. He thought about different kinds of problems to solve, problems that were not about computers. He had already helped put a computer on almost every desk in the world. Now, he wanted to use his enormous money, his sharp intelligence, and his immense energy to help the whole world in other, very fundamental ways. So in the year 2000, Bill Gates and his wife, Melinda Gates, started something very, very important and special. They created an organization called the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. A foundation is a special group that uses a lot of money to help people and solve big, big problems around the world. It quickly grew to become one of the largest and most powerful foundations in the entire world, giving away billions of dollars to help others. Bill Gates and Melinda Gates had a very, very big and ambitious goal for their foundation. They wanted to solve some of the world's toughest and most persistent problems. They did not want to just give money away randomly to many different causes. Instead, they wanted to use their money and their very smart ideas to find real, lasting, and impactful solutions to very specific problems. They spent many hours learning about the biggest and most painful problems facing people in poor countries around the world. They wanted to use data and science to find the best ways to help. They decided to focus on 3 very, very important areas that truly affect human lives. Global health. This means helping people in every country to be healthy and strong. They worked tirelessly to stop very bad and deadly diseases like malaria, polio, and HIV. They helped give essential vaccinations to millions of children, which are medicines that stop them from getting sick from dangerous diseases. Their efforts helped make sure that many, many more children lived past their first birthday, giving them a chance at a long life. Poverty. This means helping people who do not have enough money, enough food, or enough clean water to live a healthy life. They supported projects that helped farmers in poor countries grow more food for their families and communities. They helped give people access to clean, safe water to drink, which is crucial for health. They also helped people start small businesses to earn money and support themselves. Education. This means helping children and adults all around the world to learn more and get a good education. They helped build schools, provided books, and supported new teaching methods for children who did not have them. They worked very hard to make sure that everyone, no matter where they lived, had a fair chance to get a good education and improve their lives. To do this massive work, Bill Gates slowly started to step away from his daily work at Microsoft. He gradually shifted his focus. In the year 2008, he officially left his full-time job at Microsoft to work full-time at the foundation. He still had a role at Microsoft, but his main focus became helping the world through philanthropy. This was a very, very big and important change for him. He was no longer just the famous computer man. He was now the global helper, dedicating his enormous energy to humanitarian causes. He used the same smart thinking, logical problem-solving skills, and dedication he used to build Microsoft, but now he applied them to fight diseases, poverty, and lack of education around the globe. He and Melinda spent many hours traveling to different countries, meeting people, and learning about their problems directly, not just from reports. They truly believe in giving back to the world and using their resources to make a profound difference. Chapter 5. Bill Gates. Today and his big lessons. Solving global problems and thinking about the future. Today, Bill Gates is still working very hard for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. He spends most of his time learning about big global problems and finding smart, innovative ways to solve them. He reads an incredible number of books and reports every single day, sometimes as many as 50 books in a year. He believes that reading and learning are the most important tools for understanding the world, for developing new ideas, and for finding effective solutions. He is always learning something new, always expanding his knowledge. He often gives speeches, writes articles, and shares his thoughts about his work and the future. Some of his big ideas and important lessons that he often talks about include problem solving with data and science. Bill Gates loves to look at numbers, facts, and scientific research, which is called data. He believes that to solve a big problem, you first need to understand it very deeply and thoroughly, using solid facts and evidence. He looks at how many people are sick, where they live, why they are sick, and what treatments work best. Then he thinks about what solutions have worked before and how science can provide new answers. He applies the same logical and analytical thinking he used for computer programming and business to global health and development challenges. He calls this solving the world's biggest problems with technology and science. Innovation for the poor. He strongly believes that new inventions and new technology should not just be for rich people or rich countries. He emphasizes that they should be used to help the poorest people in the world, who often need them the most. For example, he supports making new medicines that are cheap and easy to use in poor villages, or developing new kinds of seeds that help farmers grow more food in difficult conditions. He wants technology and innovation to serve all of humanity, not just a small part of it. The power of giving back, philanthropy. Bill Gates believes that if you have a lot of money, it is a very important responsibility to use that money to help others. He believes deeply in philanthropy, which means giving money, time, and effort to make the world a better place. He has given away billions and billions of dollars to the foundation, making it one of the largest charitable organizations ever. He actively encourages other rich people to do the same, showing them how their wealth can create immense good. He thinks of his giving as a vital investment in humanity's future. Reading and learning forever. As we learned, Bill Gates is a voracious reader. He always tells young people and everyone to read a lot about many different subjects. He believes that reading is the best way to gain new knowledge, understand different ideas and perspectives, and develop a strong, agile mind for solving complex problems. He says, reading is the best way to get new ideas and perspectives and to expand your world. Patience and long-term thinking. Solving big world problems takes a very long time. It does not happen in one day or 1 year or even 5 years. Bill Gates understands this very well. He is very patient and thinks about solutions that will work for many years into the future, Even for decades, he is willing to commit for the long haul. Optimism and hope. Even when facing very big and sad problems like deadly diseases or extreme poverty, Bill Gates remains very optimistic and hopeful. He believes that humanity, with smart thinking, hard work, and good intentions, can solve these problems. He has great hope for the future of our world and for human progress. Steve Jobs used his genius to put powerful, beautiful tools in our hands, making technology personal. Bill Gates used his genius to create the software that made those tools work for everyone, and now he uses his vast resources and sharp mind to tackle the most fundamental challenges facing humanity directly. He continues to learn, to read, and to use his intelligence to make the world a healthier, more equal, and better place for everyone. His life shows us the incredible impact one person can have, not just in business, but in making a huge positive difference in the lives of billions. He truly embodies the idea of using wealth for the good of all. In very simple words, Bill Gates was a very smart boy who loved computers and writing code with his friend Paul Allen. They had a huge dream to put a computer in every home. They started Microsoft and made software like MS-DOS and the famous Windows, which made computers easy for everyone to use with pictures and a mouse. Microsoft became incredibly big, and Bill Gates became very, very rich. But then he started a whole new, very important chapter in his life. With his wife Melinda, he created a huge foundation to help the entire world. They fight terrible diseases, help poor people, and work for better education. Today, Bill Gates reads many books and uses his smart mind and enormous money to solve the world's biggest problems. He teaches us to always learn, use science and facts, give back to others, and have great hope for a better future for everyone.